Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh, and a good day to all the presenter and participant for the 3rd International Academic Studies Congress 2022. I'm not Asiah Yaakub from University Science Islam Malaysia. Will represent the other co-authors, which is Professor Dr. Khalil Muhammad Noor and also Associate Professor Dr. Ahmad Yusof from University Technology Malaysia. Our research paper title is Social Commerce Success Factors, Reviews on Customers to Customers Dimension. As for introduction, social commerce is defined as running e-commerce activity via social media platform, especially social media sites such as Facebook. And nowadays we can witness business have been upgrading e-commerce to s-commerce as they believe that such platform may harness their business position by improving their business operation and profits. And we also notice that because of COVID-19 outbreaks, the social commerce activities becoming more progressing. We have reviewed 3 meta-studies from 3 different studies, which is from Han 2018, from Busalim 2016, and also Bataji, where we found that studies on social commerce are progressing. However, more study focus on the adoption issue, while they are ignoring on the post-adoption or on the firm performance. Okay, their findings in the meta-studies are consistent with the other scholars who claim that literature in the field of management that address issue on measuring e-commerce success is still scarce, as e-commerce is still an emerging area. So to prove their claim and also to overview the current scenario on the e-commerce studies on performance theme, we do a systematic literature review. Okay, just to let you all know that this paper continuous from our previous paper, where in our first paper you can, if for those who are interested to see the paper or to read the paper, you can go to this link, and then just to show you what we found in our previous paper. We have done the first systematic literature review, where we use the keywords performance, success, and growth. Then we filter the result to the another keywords using online business keywords, and then we again filter our research findings through the use of social commerce and social business keywords, and then we search all these in the database such as Corpus and WOS, but since the items is limited, we also then proceed to the other database, Emerald, Sage, JSTOR, and Science Direct. From this first stage of systematic literature review, we found only 14 articles addressed on the social commerce dimension, where most of the study focus on the social networking sites or social media usage, which is more on adoption issues. Then we zoom in our review towards these 14 articles and focus on the social commerce success for small business or an SME, which is at firm level. Then we found that there is no studies addressed on C2C, moreover on critical success factor or e-commerce success model. Then our research finding is consistent with the Zimmerman and Eng as cited in Hashim, where there is no studies at all has been conducted on the critical success factors for C2C model, for the C2C model e-commerce. Then this also consistent with the finding by Wong Sraluang and Batia Subi, who claim that there is lack of critical success factor study for e-commerce among entrepreneurs. So from our first stage of systematic literature review, we can conclude that there are dearth of academic works linked with e-commerce performance within the context of C2C or online sole entrepreneurship that address the individual unit level of analysis. Then in relation to lack of academic works related to e-commerce success for C2C, one of the lack of critical success factor study for e-commerce among the entrepreneurs. This highlight the gap in the C2C performance in studies in e-commerce context. Thus, we conduct a second phase of systematic literature review process with the purpose to find variables that may related to C2C e-commerce success. Using the same keywords, we start with performance, growth, and success, and then we filtered our findings or articles that appear in our research findings using the keywords entrepreneur, small business, and SME. Then we found and reviewed more than 7,000 articles, and only 78 articles are studied on the critical success factor, which is 17 studies on online business success and 61 studies on offline business success. And from these 17 online business studies, only 2 papers address on the e-commerce success or entrepreneur success, which is Sibora and also Pontanti Gunawan. However, the second authors or second paper more on replicate the Sibora's work. We found 78 studies. There are 95 variables that highlighted by the scholars, where this variable can be further classified using general framework under 3 dimensions: individual, organizational, and external. For individual dimension, there are 36 variables, where the most highlighted variable are experience and education. For the second dimension, which is organizational dimension, there are 47 variables which can be classified under 5 categories, which is management, organization, strategy, technology, and website, where the most highlighted variable are funding and finance and business plan and strategy, while the third one is external dimension, which can be said that the most highlighted variable are government support and family and friends supports. As mentioned previous, the purpose of the systematic literature review for our paper conducted is to reveal or to find the most suitable variable to be adopted for C2C model success. We have setting 2 guidelines as a basis for selecting the most appropriate variable. The first one is based on the 78 articles in the second systematic literature review, which is based on frequency and its significant result and its suitability with our study context. And second basis are based on articles that we found in the first systematic literature review. In developing our research hypothesis and framework for C2C e-commerce success, we are depending on the 5 justification or condition. For the first one, as mentioned previous, Sibora study is pioneering studies in the entrepreneur success in e-business. However, Sibora studied on B2C business dimension. So we have identified or bring three variable from Sibora, which is achievement, locus of control, and e-networking for individual dimension, which this one with in our opinion is the most fit variable to be included in our research model. And also we bring responsiveness variable under the organizational dimension. And second, we also bring in the other two variables from offline business study, which are education and experience, which are not yet tested in the online business study. And also we bring extroversion variable to link the relationship between e-networking with the business success. And for the third one, we bring the customers e-satisfaction and information quality variable, which we borrow from the e-commerce studies. And then the fourth and fifth condition, we include the existing variable which studies separately in e-commerce studies. As for conclusion, we conclude that studies on e-commerce are indeed emerging, but when compared to the overall study on e-commerce, business performance appeared as the least concerned theme among scholars. And then we found that there are numerous studies on the critical success factors in offline context. However, studies on critical success factors for C2C in online context are limited and not yet comprehensive. Thus, from our systematic literature review, we propose the framework with which contains two variables from online business, such as entrepreneurs, education, and experience, which are untapped in a business context, online business context. And second, other variables such as information quality, customer satisfaction, price discount, social review, which has been highlighted separately by the scholars in e-commerce and e-commerce study. To end our presentation, I would like to show our proposed framework for critical success factors as commerce success, which contain three dimensions, which is business owner or individual factor, second, sales promotion and SNS factor under the organization dimension, and last one, social support under the external dimension. And then for SNS factor, we introduce the relationship with customer factors, customer e-satisfaction to link with the e-commerce success. Okay, by that, that's all presentation from me. Thank you.